Hi there. Have you ever wondered whether you could make reasonable money by betting solely on the bookies' top 6 home win calls, the so-called favourites for 1x2 betting? Well, now you can easily check out the answer for yourself, simply by using a unique interactive analysis feature that sits on our website, SoccerPredictions.com. And you don't even have to register with us first to be able to do your own analysis work. It's great for analysing lots of other bet types too, but this video will concentrate on just 1x2 favourites betting. So let me show you how it works. We call this feature SoccerPAT for short for Soccer Predictions Analysis Tool. To get to it, you must first go to our website, SoccerPredictions.com. The page you see now in this video is basically the one that will greet you when you first arrive on our homepage. We modify the homepage on a regular basis, from day to day, to keep up with the latest news and to offer comment on the current week's matches. To get into SoccerPAT, click on this Current Predictions link here. Next, click on the Soccer Predictions Analysis Tool link, which is this one here. Let me just pull it into full view on the screen for you there, like this. I'm not going to dwell on what you see here, because it relates to what did well for the previous week for football in the Americas, with a set of parameters that have nothing to do with this research into favourites betting. Instead, I'm going to click here to call up the data for the European division. Now you see here, this says 2014-2015 season for Europe, which has just finished, and we're going to use that. We're going to use 1x2 betting, but in the call type, I'm going to look up home win calls bookie. I want the odds range to be set at the lowest, so 0 in both boxes. So this will pull up for us the bookie's lowest odds. The week number doesn't matter, because the most important thing here is not the weekly output, but the output for the whole of the season, which you will see a little later. On the sort on option, we're going to go for 1x2 home win odds, and we make sure it's low to high. This is to make sure that the program selections are for the matches offering the lowest odds, meaning that those matches truly represent the bookie's favourites. From this here, we're going to decide which teams we're going to call into this analysis. I'm going to take all the teams, including relegations and promotions, and we're going to use all the matches. We're going to use UK divisions and the European Premier divisions only, and we will use the weekend matches only. It says here limit the calls to the first 6, which we're going to keep with, and no reverse call, because we want to see what the straight favourites 1x2 betting would be, the bookie's lowest odds. Then we click on here view data to see what this would give us for week 43. There you have it. This shows us that we would have incurred a loss of 1.9 units, which is here, for week 43, which is the last week of the 2014-2015 European season. To see what you've actually achieved for the whole season, we have to click on the Summary for Season link, and that's just down here, and I'll just pull this down for you to see here, and we click on it like this. This will now give you the overall picture for the season, and I'll just pull this box into view while it's doing its bit, working out the figures for us. Okay, now let's take a look at the bottom of the page. There you have it. A loss of 4.01 units here for 232 units laid out here. What this means is that you can't rely on the bookie's top 6 favourite selections to make your money. But why is that? Well, far more often than you realise is the case, even the best teams will not win every match. Let's just analyse the data on the season summary sheet here to see just how often the favourites last year failed to win. It's 232 matches played, 186 was a winner. So one minus the other gives us 46 failed win attempts, which is almost 20% of the matches, or 1 in 5 of them. The average odds offered will only be about 1.23 for each unit you lay out. So for every 100 matches where you bet on the favourites, you'll only win on 80 of them, and therefore get back about 98.4 units. But since you wagered 100 units, you'll be down by 1.6 units. And that, I'm sorry to say, is how it works with favourites betting. So is there any way to bet where you can make money? Of course there is. But it's not going to be an obvious way. Otherwise the bookie will quickly be bankrupted. But how do you find out what that not so obvious way to beat the bookie is? Well, that's where our SoccerPAT facility comes into its own. To prove it, let me show you a little bit of magic, and which is far from the best results we got last season. I'll stick to 1x2 betting and the bookie's home win calls, but I'll change the odds range like this. We'll take the matches from 2 to 2.5. And then, as a final step, I'll call for the matches as draws. Having done that, we'll then view the data and see what we get. It takes a little time, just bear with us, like that. And we scroll down here. Well, look at that. There's a net gain of 29.95 units against 227 units laid out. And that's equal to a profit of 13.19%. But it gets much better than that. Let's look at the trebles and see how we do there. You can do it directly from the summary screen like this. And we scroll down to the bottom to see. There you have it. Isn't that something? 705.11 units profit over 725 bets laid out. That's a gain of 97.26%. I'll say that again. That's a gain of 97.26% for the season. Don't you wish you had done that well last season for yourself? And we've got even better results with other combinations we will share with you. Of course, trying to find these magic combinations for yourself is nigh on impossible, which is why you need access to our services, including full access to this SoccerPAT feature, because we will give you the lowdown on everything you need to know to make money with your football betting. So why not register with us today? After all, registering with us is completely free of charge. So head off now to soccerpredictions.com and start winning today.